That is a small benefit, isn't it? Okay, so I know a few of you have had a pretty rough week, so I'm not going to ask how you are because we're just going to focus on the positive that we're here, right? Let's use this collective energy to help make everyone feel a little bit better. So let's start by sitting up tall, unless you're in the back there and you can just take it easy, okay? Just sit nice and comfortably. So feet flat on the floor if you can. Lengthen through the spine. Let's just sit away from the chair for a moment. The shoulders come down and then keep the spine long and let the back rest against the chair. So we can still relax a little bit but have that neutral spine. And let's drop the chin. Let's close the eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, just take a soft focus. And we'll take a few breaths, letting everything settle down. And maybe you could bring your hands to your belly, or one hand to your belly, one to your chest, and help you focus that breathing. You might feel a little movement of the belly or chest as you breathe in and out. And you might not. So we're not trying to make it a really big breath or anything special. Just focusing. And we'll bring the hands back down to the thighs. And you can open your eyes or keep them closed as long as you like. We're going to lift the chin as we breathe in. As you exhale, drop the chin, let that back of the neck lengthen. We'll do that a few times, breathing into lift. So you're just trying to reach the chin a little bit out and up, and then exhale, slowly lower. Now, if you need to take extra breaths, go ahead and do that. You don't have to move entirely with your breath. We'll do 2 more, lifting up and down. And then we'll come back to the center. And let's move our head slowly side to side. So really slow motion turn of the head towards the right. And then back through the center, slow motion turning it to the left. We'll do that a couple of times. Once more to each side. We'll come back to the center. Let's move the shoulders around a little bit, little circles. You could do one at a time or both together. Circling them forwards and back. How's the temperature in here for everyone? Is it okay? Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's sit up nice and tall. Let's take the arms down by the side. Just let them hang heavy. Feel the weight coming across from your neck, across the top of your shoulders, down to your arms. And then we'll slowly lift the arms up. And then lower them down. So if you have shoulder issues or breathing issues, only lift your arms to here. You don't need to lift them up overhead. Let's do that 2 more times. As big or as small as feels comfortable. And next time your arms up, we're going to leave them there and take a side bend towards the right. Breathing in through the center and then over to the left. Let's do that a couple more times, lifting up, folding towards the right. As you take that turn, turn your head to look towards the floor. And come up through the center, side bend to the left, turn your head to look down towards the left. Let's do that once more, reaching up Reaching up and over. Let's pause here for a little bit. So really think of pushing down through that left side of the pelvis and reaching up and over, and keep breathing. And come up through the center. We'll do the same to the other side. So we're going to hold it, but we're not holding our breath. Making space through those right ribs. And we'll come all the way up to the center, so we're nice and tall. I'm going to turn the ribs to the right and then bring the arms down. Come into that little twist. Just hold it there for a breath or two. I think we've just hit pollen season this week, haven't we? And then we'll lift up through the center and take a twist to the left. So again, although we're holding the pose, we're not holding our breath. So breathe in through it there. And come up through the center. And we'll lower the arms down. I'm going to spread the arms out wide, as far back as you can go. Bring them round to the front, interlace the fingers, keep the palms facing you, and reach the knuckles forward, folding forward. Come back through the center, open the arms wide. And as you exhale, interlace the fingers, reaching them forward. Let's do that one more time. Reaching the arms wide. And then folding forward, reaching the knuckles forward. And you can turn your palms to face upwards. If that doesn't work, keep them facing down. And this time we'll take that forward fold. And lift up, lifting the chin and the chest, a little extension of the back as you exhale, fold forward. Do that once more, lifting up and fold forward. This time when you lift up, we'll release the arms and let them float down by your sides and move those shoulders around again. And then we can rest against the back of the chair, still keeping that good posture, and let's do our hands. So we'll start with making fists and circles at the wrists. Switching directions if you haven't already. And then stretch them out wide and curl them in. Stretching them wide and curl them in. We did it a couple of times, and we did do it in honor of our absentees last week. We saved the feet for Juanita, but the hands were for Brian. We'll stretch, make a claw and a beak and a fist. Stretch and claw and beak and fist. We'll do that 2 more times, just like that. Claw, beak, fist, stretch, claw, beak, fist. So obviously that's too straightforward, so we're going to add to it. So let's do it a few times and then we'll add on our sensory deprivation. So claw, stretch, fist, claw, fist, beak, claw, beak, stretch, fist, claw, beak. Okay, so now try it with your eyes closed, so you're only responding to sound. Stretch, fist, claw, claw, beak, stretch, got ya, beak, fist, claw, fist, beak, claw, beak, claw, beak, stretch, fist, claw, stretch, beak, fist, claw, beak, fist. Sorry. I know, yeah. We have to all get little bits of pleasure in life where we can. So take some sips of your water. Do you need water? We can get. Okay. Oh, I just like spilled water. That's why I usually wear black pants, so then you can't see me dripping it everywhere. Still haven't quite got used to keeping it upright. I'm used to tipping it. It's Juanita's fault, yeah. So let's stretch out our fingers. We'll start with that right hand. Everything hurts today?
No, just all this. It's a week later, too. Yeah, I was going to say still.
Next finger, yeah, where they put the IV in. And the middle finger, yeah, sometimes the things we do to get better don't help, do they? And the index finger. And the thumb. And if any of those felt particularly stiff, you can give them a little rub. We'll just all wait here and wait for the click from Brian. I've given up trying to stop him, so we just be ready for it, you know. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Oh. So you only get one click per day. Is that how it works? Let's try the other hand. Pinky finger. And ring finger. And the middle finger. Index finger. And the thumb. No, he's not. No, he's not. And let's give them all a little rub. Anything that needs it. A little shake. Very stiff today. Keep the hands open, sort of flick around the hands. And then the elbows. And then move the whole arms a little bit. Doesn't have to be big. It's moving from the shoulders. And let's stretch out the arms. Just so be careful if that's really sore. We'll start by doing our stop and turn it down and stretching it out. That might help. I'm not sure. More on here. And then release that. Move it around again. We'll try the left hand. Reach it out, turn the fingers down, stretch it out. Relax the shoulders. And give that a little shake. What did we miss? I don't know. Let's come to our feet. Let's lift the heels. Ooh, and lower down, and then pull the toes back. Wow, I feel really stiff. The heels, and then the toes. So we'll do that a couple of times. And you might notice you have more flexibility or more mobility in one ankle than the other. I have one, definitely this one doesn't come back as far. Don't know why. And then we'll do Juanita's favorite. We'll lift one heel and the opposite toe, and then switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. And then we'll come back to the center, and let's stretch out our knees a little bit. So we'll go slowly. Talking of knees, did anyone hear from Kathy? Yeah.
I saw a picture of the sutures.
Oh, okay.
That's lovely.
Yeah, she's got big, yeah. And Brian has, there's lots of scars in the room, aren't there? Then we'll lift that right leg and leave it there. Really reach through that heel, and then we'll point and flex a few times.
I was going through security at the airport, and I came up and they said, anything? I said, knees, back, and foot.
Circle at the ankle. And switch directions. So let's see, what do we have today? So we have, let's do Popeye with this foot. So Popeye, I think we should do it twice since it's a short word. So Popeye, and we could have done Popeye and what's the name, olive oil, but too late. Popeye.
What is the kid's name?
I don't know. Mini Popeye. Little spinach, I don't know. Bring it in, give it a little shake. Do you know?
No,
Oh.
I don't recall, at least. Andy would know it all.
And then let's try the left foot. So point and flex. Lots of clicking going on today. And then make those circles. And switch directions. And then let's do Betty Boop, because we're having a theme today. Boop. Boop, boopy doo. And then bring it down and give it a little shake. Then we go for a little run in the center, and out to the side, in and out. And then we'll come back to the center. No Carolyn today. Did we? She wasn't here last week either. I don't know. She wasn't here last week. So we've been working on some leg strength. So don't do this if you're, not feeling good. We're going to try and sit up tall, and we're going to lift one leg up, and then the other. We're just lifting the legs, lift up, and lift up. So then we're going to lift it up and bring it out to the side. You could step over a little piece of Lego. That's what we're thinking. Lift up. And then so we're going to repeat that leg. And then if you're feeling that's easy, you can lift up over a block or a big book or something. And any minute now, you're going to start feeling that work in your hip flexor and wonder why we're doing this. And that's why. They're nice and small. Doesn't have to be heroic. And I wasn't counting, so let's do one more. No idea how many we did. And then relax. That actually felt better than last week. Maybe we're getting stronger. And then we'll try the left leg. Right, we'll start small, just a little lift out and over. And then if that feels okay, you can make it a little bit higher. Imagine you're stepping over a book or a yoga block or a small child or something. I don't recommend doing that, but yeah. Your cat's lying on the floor and you're stepping over it. Let's do two more. How did that feel compared to the last week's? Oh, you weren't here. Okay, sorry. We have to do the work to feel better, and then we feel better, and then we do the work, and then we feel tired. So, I don't know. Let's just do our sun salutation. Yes, blow those clouds away. So sitting up nice and tall. We are going to do that. Don't worry. We did it last week for you. Inhale and lift. Exhale and fold. Take it nice and easy and slow. Lifting halfway and fold. Inhale, lift and reach the arms up. And slowly bring them all the way down. Taking an extra breath. Hold it. No one's moving. Nobody's moving. We're just breathing.
That's the last step of sun salutation.
We're going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. This time, though, you're going to listen to my word. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, now you can fold. We're coming up halfway, so lengthen that spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift and reach the arms all the way up. Let's bring the hands together and then bring them down through the center. Nice and slowly so you can take an extra breath and you're not tempted to move. So while we're here, we're going to add in a little spine twist. So let's bring our arms to I Dream of Jeannie arms. If you don't like I Dream of Jeannie, you can do this. So we're trying to keep the nose and the chest in line with the same spot of your wrist. Turn the rib cage to the right. So make sure it's the ribs moving, not your arms, and come back through the center. Exhale, twist the opposite way. Good. Back to the center, so it doesn't have to be big. Exhale as you twist. And as you inhale, come through the center nice and tall. Exhale. You can do 2 more to each side. So I really want you to think of the movement coming from these obliques, pulling you around, and then back to the center, pulling you. We'll do once more. Nice. And then back to the center. We'll lower that down and then scoot forward a tiny bit on your chair. And we'll do a little bit of core work. So let's come back to our I Dream of Jeannie. Sit up tall. So really feel those sits bones and actually squeeze your cheeks a little bit so you're kind of sitting up nice and tall on your bottom. Can you feel that difference between sitting up tall? Now we're keeping the spine nice and long here, hinging back. So a nice straight line. Then use the core muscles. Exhale. Pull the ribs together, the hip points together, and the belly button in to pull you up. Inhale back. Exhale to come forward. So it doesn't have to be a big movement. In fact, you don't need to move at all to feel that. And once more. And then lower down. Let's take a child's pose. So bring the forearms to the thighs or the hands to the knees and just take a forward fold. Let everything relax. Maybe take some water. Try not to spill it on your trousers. And then we'll come up nice and tall. Okay, Brian, here we go. Okay. We're going to go across first. Cross in front, out to the front, and down. Okay? Everyone got that? Across, together, and down. Across, together, and down. So this time we're going to tap our head first. Tap, not slap, okay? So it's going to be the same arm, same side. So tap, tap. Now across, together, and down. Again, head, across, in front, and down. So let's add in opposite shoulder. So we're doing shoulder, head, across, okay? Shoulder, head, I can't look, across, together, and down. Again, shoulder, head, across, together, and down. Last one, we'll do the leg. So there's always an option to lift that leg as well if you want to make it really fancy. So we're going to do the leg, then the shoulder, then the head, and across. Thank you. I hate you to think that I just make this up as I'm going along. Okay. Leg, shoulder, head, across, together, and down. Leg, shoulder, the other leg, head. I'm just confused now because I'm trying to talk as I'm doing it. Okay, just take a moment just to get it together. Okay. Legs, shoulders, head, across. We're going to do it once through, and then we're going to do it a little bit faster. Well, we're going to try. Leg, shoulder, head, across, together, and down. Leg, shoulder, head, across. Once more for Kathleen. You go too fast, you kind of hit your head a bit too hard, don't you? That's pretty good. And you're getting your leg up there as well. No, I didn't do the leg thing. Okay, let's just take a couple of breaths. So maybe sitting back with your arms down. You can close your eyes and drop your chin. And that gets us moving a little bit. Gets the heart rate moving. Let's slow everything down. Two more slow breaths. Breathing in through the nose. If your heart rate is still going fast, breathing out through the mouth might help. Slow it down. I'm going to sit up tall. I'm going to bring the feet out to the side. So again, depending on your flexibility or mobility, your legs might be here. You might have them all the way out to the side, just somewhere that you could sit for a couple of minutes. So don't overdo it. Knees are in line with the toes. So if your knees are really wide, but your toes are pointing forward, I don't like that. Let's bring them in line with each other. So wherever feels comfortable. And we want to be sitting up nice and tall again. So spine is long. So let's get the posture. Drop your chin to 1/4 of an inch. Yes. Let's take that right arm. Sweep it across the body. Catch hold of it with that left arm. Staying tall, look over to the right. And then just to mess with your head, let's lift the right heel. And then lower it and lift the left heel. And lower it. We'll do that a couple of times. Alternate heels. And lift. And lift. And lift. And then relax everything down. Move that shoulder around. And then we'll try the other side. Sweep the left arm across, catch hold of it, and look towards the left. And this time we'll lift the toes. One, and then the other. Lift, and lift. So I'm mesmerized by a giant squirrel out there. Big squirrel. Yeah. And then bring everything back. Yeah. Move everything around. Let's add to that. So we've been doing that twice in the previous weeks because we feel the second time we get a nicer stretch. So let's try our eagle arms instead. So for eagle, we're going to bring the right arm on top. So you can just give yourself a hug. That's okay. Or you can bring the elbows together and try and bring the hands together. Ooh. Or you can just do one arm. Or you can stick with what we already had. Yeah, that's perfect. Then we're going to drop the chin and take a forward fold. So widening across the back. Or sticking with that position we just did. So this way you tend to get a stretch on both shoulders at once. And keep breathing. Now when you're in this position, think about breathing into the back ribs. Next time you're breathing in, begin to lift the body, unwind the arms. Oh, nice. That's good. Little eagle, yeah. So that was that arm on top. So now we'll do the opposite arm on top. Again, you can just hug it in, you can hug both arms, or you can try to wrap around. You probably have one side that's easier to do than the other. Yeah, my shoulders are too tight for this. No, you got it, Brian. So maybe just staying here already feels like a lot of stretch in the shoulders. And begin to take that forward fold. So if there's any consolation, not in a chair, we would be trying to do this on one leg. So, yeah. Yes, it is small consolation, isn't it? It could always be worse. Keep breathing into those back ribs. And then slowly coming up as you're breathing in. Oh, release. Open those arms. Make some big circles. Oh. Yeah, I like that. Let's make big helicopters, just turning the body from one side to the other. Nice and easy. Did your grandparents used to say, if the wind changes, your face will stay like that when you were kids? That's what we were told. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were told. Yeah, yeah, that's what we were told. Perfect retort. Yes, yes. So let's come back to that neutral position. This time we'll bring the hands to heart center. We're going to do our sun salutation, the second one, but we were very exciting today and split it up. So we'll inhale, sweep the arms up, bring them to cactus arms. Remember, it can be a little cactus down here or it can be a big cactus, however you're feeling today. Hinging forward and then fold. Everything hang down here. We'll come up halfway into that flat back and then fold. Inhale, lift and reach the arms up. We'll bring them back to cactus. Take a side bend and come back to the center. Side bend to the left. Now this time when you take that side bend, I want you to think of the opposite hip staying stuck to the chair. And you've got a big stretch on that side. Over to the left. Excuse me. Come back to the center. Let's lower the arms. Lift the chin and chest. Draw the shoulder blades together. And then tuck everything the opposite way. Folding forward and take a couple of breaths here. Slowly lengthen. Bring the hands to heart center. Inhale to sweep up. And exhale. Hinging forward. And fold. Coming up halfway, that nice long spine. And fold. Inhale, lift and reaching up. We'll find our cactus arms again. This time we're going to take a twist to the right, back to the center, and then to the left. So we've been working on this a couple of times. So as you take that turn to the right, I want you to think about your right shoulder blade and the muscles around it, helping to pull you around. Can you feel that muscle engaging? And then to the left. So just in case you weren't sure, we're going to do it once more to each side. So the ribs are moving, the muscles in the back are helping. Nice. Come back to the center and lower the arms. Your arms feel heavy now. Lift the chin and chest. Draw the elbows back. Let's reach the arms behind the airplane. And then wrap everything around. Come into that forward fold. Hands on the knees or forearms to the thighs. And take a few breaths here, slowing everything down. Breathing into the back ribs. And slowly lift up. I'm going to stretch out our legs a little bit. So let's turn towards the right. So hold onto your chair as we turn around to the right. Right arm's on the back of the chair. That right foot is flat on the floor and the left leg is coming out into the middle. We're just coming into triangle. So we're not moving our arms anymore because I think we've done enough arm work. So keeping the spine nice and long. I'm going to tuck this left hip under. Keep this waist long as you tilt towards that left leg. Make sure you're holding onto that chair. Keep breathing. And come all the way back up. So staying in that position, we're going to bring the left knee in and just let it drop towards the floor so the front of that hip can release a little bit, trying to take the crease out. So again, we're not going to take our arms up or anything, just letting that left knee be heavy. Let's bring that foot back to the floor, just out on diagonal, and let it move a little bit side to side. So rocking to the outer edge of the foot and then the inner edge, rotating that knee. And then we'll pause and we'll hold on to the chair and come around the other way. So facing that left leg, holding onto the back of the chair. Right leg comes out to the side. Toes are pulling back. Keeping that long spine again and hinging. And keep breathing. And you can play around with your gaze here. You could look straight ahead or you can turn your head to look towards the foot. Two more breaths. And slowly lengthen. Still holding onto that chair. We'll bring the right leg in and let the knee drop towards the floor. So depending on your body today, it might be really far in front. If you can get it to point to the floor, you might get a stretch in the front of that hip. And you can play around with your feet. You can have the top of your foot on the floor, or you could tuck the toes under if you want to get a stretch on the bottom of your foot. And let's bring that foot back to the floor, a little bit out to the side, and then we'll let it rock side to side. So coming to the outer edge of the foot and then the inner edge. Letting that thigh rotate. And let's slowly come all the way back to the center. Do a little bit more leg stretching. So right leg comes out. Ooh. Oh, it's so much better when that click comes out. It's like, okay, I was waiting for that to happen. Legs out in front. Make sure that left foot is flat on the floor, nice and stable. Toes are reaching back. Let's bring the hands to that left thigh. Keep the spine nice and long and bring the chest forward. And then when you feel some resistance, you can pause there and take a couple of breaths. And we'll slowly lengthen. Bring that leg in, give a little movement, and we'll switch legs. Yeah, get the click out that side. What's going on with my knees? So right foot is flat on the floor, nice long spine, pull those left toes back and then hinge forward. So really, you could come forward an inch. You might be almost to your thigh, whatever feels good. You don't have to go to the very end of the movement. I've got paint on these as well. It's not doing very well today. Let's slowly lengthen. Bring that leg in, give it a little bit of movement. And we'll come to our pigeon pose. So first option is to bring that right heel to the ankle, just rotating that leg out. If you're at home and you have something to put your foot on, you can do that. Or here we have blocks if we need blocks. Do you need a block? Can you get a block? Or can you get, thanks. Or you can bring it up to your thigh. If you can't get it to your thigh, we just rest it on something. Laura's just going to get a block. Oh, that's what pants are for. Sometimes one leg works better than the other. Thank you. So let's start by sitting up tall, equal weight on those sits bones. So without doing anything, without touching your leg, try to think of that knee trying to get closer to the ground. So feel a little bit of engagement, a little bit of work of turning down. It might not actually move, right? It's fine. It's about as far as mine can go. So just get that sense of the knee is pushing down of its own accord. We're not pushing it here. And then let it relax. And then we'll bring the chest forward. Again, it might not come forward very far, but keeping this foot flexed. When you feel some resistance, pause, ease off, and take a few breaths. And then you might be able to come a little bit further forward. Keep breathing. Another opportunity to breathe into those back ribs. Slowly lengthen. So option here is to cross that leg on top of the other, like we're always told not to sit, or cross at the ankles. And take the left hand to push down. Take the right arm, sweep all the way around and behind, coming into a twist. So that arm can come to the hip or over the chair. We're looking towards that right shoulder. Keep breathing. Let's slowly unwind. Come all the way around to the other side. A little gentle twist the other way. And we'll come back to the center, unwind the legs. And then we'll do the same with the other leg. So again, this hip might be very different. So your foot could be on the floor, on something higher, or we can heave it over. Maybe, yes. So let's do the same thing without pushing with our hand. Let's see if we can make our muscles move. Oh, that was hard. Just that was much harder on this side. So really trying to engage these muscles to rotate that leg a little bit. It's hard, isn't it? Let's work. I know. And then relax it, and we'll hinge forward. So usually one hip is much more cooperative than the other. We can still get a little stretch. Let's slowly lengthen. And again, you can cross knee over knee or ankle over ankle. But we want to be sitting up tall. We'll take that right hand to push down and sweep the left arm around. Looking towards that left shoulder. I feel like it just got really warm in here. Yeah. And then slowly turn, take a little twist the other way. And we'll come back to the center, unwind. Oh, we've got time. What did I forget? We crammed a lot in today. Any last minute requests before we come into our relaxation? Thing you desperately missed? No? We've already done that. Oh, the balls. Well, we'll have that next week. Sorry. Yeah, you missed last week.
Yes.
So let's sit up tall. Nice neutral spine. Leaning against the back of the chair. You can close your eyes, let your head drop. Relaxing the shoulders, so we're in that nice neutral position. Draw the elbows back a little bit. We'll focus on the top of the head. Relax each part of the body as we get to it. Smoothing out the forehead. Relaxing under the cheekbones. And the jaw. The tongue. And the throat. Down to the center of the chest. Feel the chest lifting a little as you breathe. Keeping the belly soft. The whole front of your body soften. Noticing the back of your neck. Down your spine between your shoulder blades. Continuing down through the back, all the way to your pelvis. And maybe you feel your ribs at the back, pushing gently into the chair as you breathe. Relaxing the shoulders, the upper arms, softening at the elbows. Let your lower arms be heavy through the wrists, the palms of your hands, the length of the fingers. Notice where the back of your legs touch the chair. Relaxing the back of your legs. Notice the weight of your hands on your thighs. Softening the thighs. Relaxing the knees and lower legs. The ankles. And the soles of your feet through the length of your toes. Think about breathing in from your toes all the way up through your body out to the top of your head. And breathing out from the top of your head all the way down through your body to your toes. And do a couple of breaths like that, thinking of scooping the breath up and then pulling it back down once more. I want you to focus on the parts of your body that are touching surfaces, like the soles of your feet, your hands, the backs of your legs, without making your breaths particularly big. Each time you exhale, imagine getting heavier and sinking a little deeper into those surfaces. As though you could leave a permanent footprint. And just begin to notice your breathing and focus on one breath at a time, gently in and out. And if you get distracted, a thought pops into your head, just come to the next breath. In and out. And let's begin to wake up the body slowly and gently. We'll start by moving the fingers and the wrists and the toes and ankles. Gently lengthening one leg and the other, lengthening the arms. If it feels good, you could reach the arms up overhead. Coming back up to our seated position, let's bring the hands to the heart. Being grateful for everyone here today and this beautiful space. And we'll see you all soon. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.